Hello friends, today this video is about playing a sound using the Rust. I know in the previous video we have already did this kind of work, but in this current video we will not using any kind of a file, but the twist is we will use the URL to play any audio. So I have already created a project using the cargo, and the project is the created here using the cargo. So let's just get started. The first thing which we need, and the most important thing, is the URL. For that URL we can grab any audio sample URL. You can easily find on the internet. You can just search for it, and let me, okay, here's a link. I have got one link here. Fine, let me grab this URL and we will paste it here. So we have the URL. Now the other thing is we need some kind of the HTTP, and because we have to call this URL, and we need the HTTP for that. For that we will using the request grid. And let me just first add the request. So please, it's WEST, not UEST, as request is, don't make any kind of a typo here. In the beginning, when I first used this grid, I have made a couple of times this mistake by typing the reqwest, which is not the right thing. And the only feature which we need here is the logging feature. We need the blogging module, and because there are so many things in the request create, we don't need all of those things. We only have to call this URL. We need a get response of that, and so download file will be updated. And we also will add the rodio to play any kind of the audio. Okay, rodio is also get it added, and let me exit now. Okay, so now we have the URL. We need to make a request, and we will use the blocking module, and there is a function called get, and we will pass the URL here. And we have for using the request, any kind of the get, any kind of the methods like get, post, anything like that. We need the we need to like the unwrap, or I have added the question mark. If there is an error, we have to return it, but for that the main function should return the result here. And for that we need the dynamic, not the error, we will use the box. And what else we can do here? For the box we need the error. Okay, now we are good to go. Now we have made the request, and I know this is not a good approach. Like we have used the blocking, the sync approach here, and the blocking will wait for the server. When the server responds, until it waits, but we don't need anything. There are no any other operations here in this our current program, that so we should we don't have to use the async approach for that. And if you really want to use the async approach, I can make a video about that. And for that you can use the Tokyo grid. And but here in this current situation we don't need it. We only need this URL, and we will get the data from it, and we can easily wait for that data because there are no any other operations like down there after the response. And now we got the response. We will check if there is if there is some kind of the error, then we have to return that error to the user. and we will check the response. There is a function I think called, yeah, okay, status and the success. Okay, and let me make like let me I think instead of using the built-in like the error response which the rest have, we will use the create. There is a create called anyhow, and let me search for that. Anyhow create. Okay, okay, so this is the library where you can easily return the clean error messages. And the real reason or the purpose for this, like the main advantage for using the anyhow create, is that you can get all the error responses, and it will be much cleaner messages. You can easily read and get what's causing the error. But if you are using the rust, the built-in error like this, just I have used the standard error. When if there are multiple errors and the programs get terminated due to the error, you will only see the first one. If you are using the rust built-in thing, you will not see any all of the other errors. And the message and the other reason is the message is not that much cleaner as compared to the anyhow create. So I think it will be good to use the anyhow create in this current program. So the other people who are just new to rust have an idea about that we can easily handle the errors in a different way. So for that I think let me save this, and we will add the anyhow great. And let me check the documentation for that. Okay, so we will call the result and just simply call it empty, because we will not return anything from here. For that we will just not return anything, and we will use the anyhow actual. Why not? It's not getting imported, I think. Okay, it's getting imported, but there is an issue while importing. Let me check the documentation. Yeah, it's the result. Okay, so now we are using the anyhow result return type, and there is a macro called I think it's a bail, and I think we can show the status of the response. And what we need to read. Okay, so we got the URL, and we have the response, and if there is an error, we will show the error will be shown to the user. There is a typo. And now what we need the bytes. Okay, we will read the data in the form of bytes because we need to pass it to the decoder of the rodio crate, and rodio crate will not read any other kind of data. We need to pass it in a bytes, but in the form we will read it from the using the buffer reader. But I think I will use there are other approaches. In the previous video I have used the buffer reader. I think we will check that if there is any solution for that we will use. But let me first get the bytes from the response. There is a function called bytes, and now the request part is completed. URL, response, error, and we got the data in the form of bytes. Now let's turn off the rodio part. So first thing in the if you are using the rodio crate, you have to connect your output source, like the output audio source. For that I think the device will be fine in case of a source or anything else. stream. Okay, there's an output stream builder struct, and the function is, I think, some kind of not a default. There is an open default stream function, and we will expect it modify to audio device. There is fine. And now we are connected to the audio output source. We need a playlist. For that we will use the sync. And by the way, I have completed all this kind of a thing like this using the rodio to play the sound from the file. In the previous video I will attach that to the description as well. I will attach the link to the description. And what we need from the sync, we just need to import it first, and there is a function called connect new, and we need to pass the mixer. The intelligence features are pretty amazing. It will just show everything which you need, like we are needing the mixer, and we will use the reference. Okay, now the sync is the playlist is we have connected to our output source to the playlist. And instead of because the rodio decoder needs the buffer reader, but we will not use, we will use the cursor this time. And for that cursor we will import a cursor, and which is the here. Okay, I imported it correctly, I think, and use it. Maybe there is some kind of issue. We'll check that later. Okay, so cursor, there is a new, and we need to pass the bytes to this cursor. Cursor is like a wrapper to in-app in-memory wrapper. It's just like this text editor cursor. It shows the position of the data, and it automatically adjusts the position as well. And the cursor will read this byte data, and we will get, and now we can read the data just like we can read the data from any kind of a file. So it just create a dummy file for you, because our let me create another variable, because we will need to use the decoder here. So I imported the decoder and the new, there is a function called new, and unwrap it. And new will need this cursor. Okay, so decoder will read the data perfectly fine. Now we need to append to this our playlist. Our source is appended. And there is another function called, I think, sleep until end. So it will play all the sound, and then when the sound will be completed, then the program will get terminated. And obviously there is a function main return type is the result. We need to use the OK here to return it. And I think we are now good. Now I think we have the URL. Let me check all the thing. We have request, and there's an error, then bytes. Let's just test this. Okay, the code is compiling, just wait for it. Okay, pen source is not it. Maybe there is an error. Okay, so let's say if there is some kind of error in the bytes, then we have to return the error as well. Maybe it can cause the problem, or maybe this will be the cargo run. Why it's taking so much time? I don't know why it's so slow. I got the response, okay, but sound didn't get played. And why I'm getting this? There's a mixer, there's device. Let me debug this. Then the URL is fine, the response status. I'm getting this error, maybe. Let me check the documentation for this request and the anyhow grades. Maybe I'm missing something, I don't know. According to me, it should be working fine. No, I'm getting this errors. Still don't know. Let me test this again. There are no errors, there are no compile time errors. I don't know why it's not working. Target is HTTP error 200. Okay, is the HTTP and I'm also getting the 200. Okay, URL. Maybe the issue is in the URL. Let me confirm this one more time. Still don't know why I'm getting the request error here. Still don't know. It's some kind of like it's here HTTP error, but okay. So my bad, my bad. I haven't used the. Really sorry about that. I haven't used the not operator for here. Okay, so it will always making it true, so that's why I am getting this error. The status was okay 200, but this conditional logic will running, and now this time I'm fine. Okay, now finally we got the sound for the URL and the program gets terminated. So these the minor issues which takes a lot of time in debugging. That's why the debugging is the most difficult and the crucial part of any like kind of writing any software or anything like a mobile development or web development. So it's a fun thing, like just like if we have missed this one thing, but it took me so much time to just figure this out. And so thanks for watching, and I hope you guys like it. And I will add the description of this add the GitHub link to the description. And if you really want to check this code, and thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye.